Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Week English. My dear friends, today I am going to discuss about a particular subject. That subject is that how can you do practice for your English journey. If you know about this point, after you can start your journey easily. So I recommend to anybody else, those are learner, those who want to learn this language, after you just watch this video from start to end. So let's begin without any delay. My dear friends, though you are beginner, though you have not any knowledge about this point, after you can start this language. You can speak well in English, but you don't show your skill, actually what you have skill. If you don't practice at all, you don't know actually how can you start this thing. So this is the main cause for you. But you want how can you speak well in English. My dear friends, don't worry about this point. How can you get success? How can you get achievement in your life? How can you speak well in English? You have to continuously practice in English language. If you want to grow in this regard, you have to continuously practice in this regard. Without practice, how can you get achievement in your life? How can you speak well in English? That's why I am telling to you, you just practice more. If you think that how can you do practice for you, actually I must discuss one by one in this video. You just listen carefully and watch from start to end. My dear friends, I know you are a beginner. Though you are a beginner, you don't know actually how can you start this thing. I recommend to anybody else, those are my viewers, those who wants to build their career in this regard, in this language. After you must start this language by practice. Without practice, nothing will be happen. Nothing will be perfect for you. So you just understand the thing because you have skill, but you don't know how can you show your skill in which way. And you have to do this thing for you because you want to learn how can you speak well in English, but you are not able to know actually how can you start this thing. So this is the main cause for you. So don't worry. You think that when you are going to practice, after you must do some mistake in between that practice. So don't worry about this point. You just start. You just start it with your energy. What do you mistake? What did you mistake? Don't stress about that point. You just continue this thing. When you gain so much knowledge, when you do more practice for you, actually any word must come to our mind. You have not seen any difficulty in your language. I know, though you are a beginner, you have to face some difficulties in between of speech, in between of practice. That doesn't mean you must lose your heart for these things. I know. When I started this journey, I faced so many obstacles. That doesn't mean I just lose this thing. And you have to do this thing like me. If you don't take any effort for these things, so how can you improve in your life? How can you speak well in English? That's why I am telling to you, don't lose your heart. Whatever you practice, whatever you do mistake, don't discuss about that. Don't analyze about that. You just continue this thing up to get success. Don't analyze how can you get success. Now how can you do more effort for these things. You just continue that. Then after some days, after some months, you can get a result. Actually, there is a proverb in English. Universe tells to us, don't follow to any hope. Don't expectation for any hope to get any result. How can you get a result? Don't think about that. You just do your duty in the proper way. If you do this thing, absolutely success must come towards you. And when that success comes towards you, absolutely you can't imagine that. How can it is going to possible for you? So, my dear friends, you just do practice. I recommend to anybody else, those are my viewers, those are interested for learning this language. You must do one thing. Actually, that is, you just go to a lonely place. You just create a story according to you. Either you create simple story, either you create complementary story, it's depend on you. What is your choice? You just do that. But you have to make a story and you just continuously discuss about that. Suppose you are going to school. Before going to school, actually what you can do for that? You just make a story and continuously discuss about that. If you do this thing from the long time, actually your proficiency that will improve. That doesn't mean you can do that thing. You have skill. You must do this thing. And you have to do this thing for you. Because if you don't take any effort for these things, you just think over it, how can you get success, how can you speak well, Actually, that is very difficult for you. You have to do this thing for you. If you want to learn this language, how can you speak well, Actually, you have to do this thing. If you can do this thing regularly, actually, what is your proficiency? That will improve and you can able to speak easily. That doesn't see this language is very difficult language, and those have some experience, they must do this thing, and you don't do this thing. Actually, you have capacity, you have knowledge, you have skill. Whatever you want, you can do that. But you don't show your skill. You think that if you do some mistake, actually anybody else must comment over you. So don't think what they comment over you. Who is anybody else? Comment over you to criticize you. Actually, don't analyze what they do this thing for you. You just do your duty in the proper way. Then after some days, after some months, how can you improve your English? That will improve automatically for you. You should not do this for this thing. So my dear friends, this is the tips for you. I think you can understand it very well, and I must recommend to anybody, if you came first time in my channel, you just subscribe channel to get subscribe information for me. So that's all. So thank you, all the best.